think it's safe to say that we found another unicorn.
As a single mom at 27, let's say I was your man, what would I need to pay for?
I don't think you would need to pay for anything. I wouldn't see it that way. I think we can both contribute to building a life together.
So far, so good.
Let's say I wanted to go to McDonald's and you had your kid with you. Would I be expected to pay for the two of you or just you?
Let's see what they have to say.
Just me. That's my baby. That's my responsibility. I mean, if he wants to do that, it's fine, but I don't expect you.
Not the expectation.
Now let's be honest, after seeing so many of these, who really saw that coming?
You're not gonna feel any type of way if I'm like, okay, let's get me a meal, you a meal, but you can pay for your kids?
Yeah, no, I don't mind that because that's why she has her father, you know, to be able to contribute. And then, you know, like I said, if he wants to do that, then that's fine. Thank you, I appreciate it. But if not, then that's fine as well.
Would I need to provide anything for your child at all, or?
No, just kind of be there. Just be there for us, both of us.
It's almost refreshing, isn't it? Hearing someone that actually appreciates someone just being there and being with them and their child, as opposed to having an expectation that someone that they're just dating pays for everything. Because honestly, spending time with someone can be just as priceless.
How much do you think a guy should spend on an engagement ring?
Does anyone think that the answer to this question is going to be even remotely reasonable?
10 times their salary.
10 times their salary? Let's put that in some realistic numbers. If a guy makes $50,000 a year, they're wanting that guy to spend $500,000, yes, $500,000 on an engagement ring.
Yeah, it has to be in like the 6 digits for sure. How much do you think a guy should spend on an engagement ring?
I'd say at least like $100K.
Yeah.
$100,000. Now, this is just my opinion, but if someone is going to spend $100,000 to show that they are really committed to that relationship, I think a better way to show that would be to put that money down on a house, not some little piece of jewelry. But that's just my practicality talking.
Finally, my first time getting hit on in Home Depot.
And how did that go?
And he's not even attractive.
Well, that's unfortunate. Perhaps next time one should hold up a sign saying, "Don't bother hitting on me unless one happens to be attractive. Only attractive men need apply."
I don't know what I'm doing wrong.
A person could only guess.
But I'm here all the time. So for all you people who are like, go to Home Depot, that's where all the men are. No, they're not.
The men are actually there. But the thing that one is failing to take into consideration is that men have been told repeatedly by women not to approach them because that could be considered creepy or even harassing behavior. And the men have been paying attention because since they have no way of knowing what each woman considers to be attractive, they are just playing it safe and not even bothering. So my recommendation is if one really wants to get a man's attention at a hardware store, which is full of tools and possible project ideas, one had probably better approach him.
What's your biggest turnoff in guys?
That's right, it's time for another one of these.
Probably when they don't work out, go to the
really?
gym and stuff, yeah.
White men.
So what do you guys prefer in a guy?
Really rich, really black, at least 6'5".
6'5"?
Yeah. Just lots of money, really. Yeah.
Like a yacht and stuff?
Yeah. That kind of thing. Can buy me fancy things, take me on trips, pay my rent.
Between men or women, who has a harder life?
Absolutely women.
Why?
We bleed for a week a month. We are
We're sexualized everywhere we go.
You get like catcalled?
Yeah.
Absolutely. The parking lot attendant tried to steal me before.
Not me.
Anyone tried to steal you today?
We can.
Based on that, I'm starting to think that there might be a different version of reality for every person. Newsflash. But men still actually do go to war, and they have been for quite a while. I suppose it's entirely possible that they haven't been teaching history class quite as well as they used to, or perhaps some just forgot about some rather notable events that happened over the past several decades. But I digress. But it will never cease to amaze me how much some individuals like to be in other people's business. For instance, this gentleman is just sitting there, minding his own business, living, as they say, his best life, enjoying his beverage of choice, and yet there are still some that will criticize him for not drinking a manly enough beverage. As if it wasn't enough that there have been individuals over the past few years saying that there's too much toxic masculinity out there, but yet when they see someone who's not appearing to be manly enough, will still find some reason to try to criticize that person. I mean, seriously, pick which way you want it, because you can't really have it both ways.
I'm starting to wonder if women even really actually realize how uncomfortable they're actually making men. And when I say men, I should actually expand that to people in general. Are you aware of how uncomfortable you're making people in general just because you think it's funny and you think it's okay to record somebody literally having coffee and typing on a laptop, relaxing, probably in school, just focused on doing his thing? A freaking weirdo.
Excuse me, sir.
Yeah.
Did you say that my daughter is rude?
Yeah, I did. She gave me the finger.
Well, I wouldn't have done that if he wasn't being a slow ass.
Are you serious, Amelia? Well, listen, whether she gave you the finger or not, then maybe you should have gotten out of her way.
Yeah, I know. I'm old. I'm kind of slow.
So that means that you get to tell her she's rude?
Well, she's rude. She's rude.
But she's not rude. She's only 7.
Well, I thought she was being rude.
But were you in her way?
Probably.
So don't you think that maybe you don't own the store just because you're driving a cart? I think that you think all this is funny, and it's not funny, sir.
Well, I'm her elder, and she needs to show me a little respect.
Well, maybe you need to not think that you own the store because you're driving a cart.
First of all, that poor man deserves better. He deserves respect. And second of all, you wonder why girls grow up to be women that cannot take accountability? This is why. It's because mom is standing there taking away any ability to learn accountability. The mom is also probably why there's no dad standing there straightening out his daughter.
I'm sure you get this a lot, but is there any way I could get your number?
I'm sorry. It's going to be enough for me.
Why?
I just started dating this girl. It's getting pretty serious. I don't mean any offense by it. It's just that it's getting serious. I don't want to mess with that at all. So
she doesn't have to know necessarily, you know.
Unfortunately, now you said that she kind of does.
Get your number, and you can, change my contact name, and it could be totally fine.
It's a funny thought.
The drill. You know the drill.
Yeah, no, it's cool. I get that. I'm just it's not really my thing. She's been great to me. I'm going to be great back to her. It's just where I'm at right now. So, again, I appreciate it. Don't mean any offense by it, but I'm going to
I'm kind of taking offense by it. I mean, normally when I ask guys for their numbers, they give it to me. So I'm just a little confused by that.
Again, it's nothing. It's nothing that you're doing. You're doing fine. It's just that I have a girlfriend. And again, I completely get that. But
you're being kind of an asshole, actually. So
I'm not being an asshole. I'm sorry. I'm just telling you how it is.
Do you think I'm not pretty or something?
What?
Do you think I'm not pretty? Or
No,
because that's usually not a problem.
Listen, you're kind of twisting my arm here. I'm not getting into this conversation. I'm just telling you that, no. And that's it. So I'm sorry you're making me kind of uncomfortable. I'm kind of going to get out of here.
Whatever. Never mind, actually. Never mind. Please don't give me your number, actually.
All right, well.
This is a prime example of a woman that doesn't understand that this is most men. I said it, most men are good men. But there are so many women out there that believe the opposite. This is clearly one of them because she just cannot understand his answers. And I think it is clearly reflective of her own values. So much so that even if that man didn't have a girlfriend, he would have lost all potential attraction.
Anybody else's boyfriend makes 3 racks of ribs on a Monday after he works and churro cheesecake cookies. Can I have a cookie?
No. Rachel is the first one that has to get one because she wanted one. She's in bed.
Rachel's our 6-year-old daughter.
Yeah, and I made those cookies because she wanted me to, and I wanted her to feel special. So she gets to have the first one, so she feels special. You can't have one.
That makes sense.
That's very nice.
This is so messed up because that dad spent time making something special for his daughter and the mom knowingly gets in the way of it by stealing a cookie. And let's be clear, it's not because she really wanted a cookie. She could have made her own cookies or gone to the store. The mom did this intentionally, which indicates that she wanted to prevent that moment, that core memory of her daughter feeling unconditional love from her father.
How you feeling?
I can't feel my arm.
No? That's okay. You'll feel it in a little bit.
Yeah.
Yeah. Are you hungry?
I don't know.
You sleepy?
Yeah.
Yeah. You wanna go home and get some rest?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know where I live?
I do. I'll live with you. I'm your smoking hot wife.
We got married.
We did.
You're so pretty.
Thank you.
You're so pretty.
Thank you.
Thank you for marrying me.
You're welcome.
This is a very real representation of how a good man feels about his wife. And let's be clear, ladies, she did not take this as an opportunity to drill him on her insecurities, which makes it very clear that they're in a secure relationship. And that does not just happen by chance, because obviously it's very clear that this man cares very deeply for his wife. But if you read between the lines, you can tell that she feels the same exact way about him, and that is all that a good man wants. If you go for the guy that treats you like trash because he's exciting, just remember that that man is not afraid to lose you. And that's because he doesn't really care for you that much. And you're never going to change that. So once you date a few of these guys, one after another, that's when you're going to look around and say, where are all the good guys? And I'm going to tell you, that good guy left your friend zone years ago to find his queen. I don't know about you, do what you want, but I'd rather be the queen.
And once again, seeing women sabotage themselves for honestly no reason. When he starts being too nice and asking about how my day was, he's going to go into the friend zone. When you're literally asking for a man to be emotionally vulnerable, to ask questions, to communicate effectively, once again, we're seeing just how many modern women exhibit loser behavior on a daily basis.
Men with no hose. Where are you? What are you?
They're doing their own thing, hanging out with their bros, playing video games, because they're often overlooked by us ladies. They're considered the nice guys. They're considered friend material. They're considered not your type. The thing is, the majority of us ladies chase after the same men. They treat us badly, and then we blame all men because of it. Maybe look at some of those men you've previously overlooked. See if they share any qualities. Maybe you need to change up who you're dating, and you'll have better results. How the fuck is this not considered abuse? Women complain that there aren't any good men out there. Look at this man. He is obviously a good man. He doesn't even react to her abuse. And he's calm as a cucumber. But if a man did this shit to a woman, oh my gosh. Everybody would show their support towards her and make sure she's okay, but no one gives a fuck about this guy. Are you serious? He can't even defend himself in this situation. If he did anything back to her, she would call the police and he'd be arrested. But oh, it's okay for her to abuse him? They're treating you like equals. That's what we asked for. Not only that, but let's be realistic here. If more men offered up their seat, a lot of women would automatically assume that he expects something out of it, or that he's flirting with her. He could be a married man. Or some women would even get angry. Oh, what, you don't think I'm capable of standing up? Men literally can't win. He opens the door for a woman and gets yelled at for the same thing. Men don't owe you anything. And this entitlement here is a big reason why a lot of men don't want to do these things. Because you're expecting it. You're mad that they're not doing it automatically. So what, if a man realistically offered you his seat, would you have said thank you? Would you have... Did she just not show up? Ladies, Men put so much effort into planning nice dates for us. If you can't make it, let them know as soon as possible. It's the least you can do. A man shouldn't have to go through something like this.
Date him?
Hell no.
Why?
Because he's fat.
If a man were to say that to a female, we'd be chasing him down the street with pitchforks. But it's somehow okay when a woman says it, and it's even funny. Women sit here and bitch about men not being tall enough, or they want a man of a certain height, but as soon as men bring up our weight, we get so fucking defensive. Sure, we see the guy laugh in the video, and he seems to be enjoying the joke. Men are raised to cover up their feelings. He might have felt really bad about that comment, and he's just
Wrong, I can cook, but I hate when guys ask you, can you cook? Because can you build a house?
Can I build a house? Bitch, I just want some eggs. I gotta build a house for some beef stew? I gotta build a gazebo for some gumbo? I see why these young men mad at y'all. Build a goddamn house. Must be out your goddamn mind. Do you know how long it take to build a house? You gotta get the motherfucking foundation, gotta dig a hole, septic tanks, rebarb, wood, and brick and shit, electric, plumbing, and some of you lazy ass ladies lamenting over making lasagna. But you give a hard-working man YouTube, tools, and materials, and he gonna build a motherfucking house and kick your lazy ass right out that motherfucker.
Honestly, they have tools to help you make the lasagna now. And you can get fresh homemade lasagna delivered. You have stores doing quote unquote homemade meals where you just literally pop it in the oven. You can go to Sam's Club. You can go to Costco and get a ready-made dish to pop in the oven. They even tell you how long to pop it in there at what degrees. So the stuff that y'all as women are arguing about are saying, okay, actually it's, can you do this? If not, you gotta be silly. You gotta be somebody that's not even trying. Can you or can you not?
When you really think about it, the only reason that marriages last so long is because men have to put up with women's BS. Not only do they have to put up with all of the BS that women, spew out that they go through, they're hormonal, they're unhappy, they're sad, they want bigger boobs, they want smaller boobs, they want to be fatter, they want to be skinnier. One day they're depressed, one day they're not depressed. They want more money, they want less money, they want him to stay home, they want him to work more, they want him to do all of these things, and along the way, he will change everything about himself to please a woman, to make it work, only for her to use it as the exact reason why she divorces him later. You mean to tell me that man gets screamed at every single day about not helping with the chores, not helping with the kids, she's about being a stay-at-home mom, but she'll never ask him to stay home. She'll never ask him to change roles and him stay home with the kids, and she goes to work to see how it feels to work a 60-hour work week? She'll nag, she'll complain, she'll withhold sex, she'll be on Snapchat with different dudes claiming how unhappy she is, she'll be passive aggressive, she'll be mean, she'll talk down to him. She will actually essentially be checked out of the relationship, and people will make excuses for her being checked out of the relationship the entire time, even though the only reason that the relationship lasted as long as it did is because he took the time to fix things along the way that she was unhappy with, and as he fixed things, the goalposts kept changing, so nothing he ever did was good enough. Men are essentially tying themselves down to women and putting up with their BS, putting up with their disrespect, putting up with their sexless marriages just to make it work, just for her to turn around and finally leave and blame it all on him. A lot of women are not ready for the conversation where y'all have pushed these men away because you are miserable within yourself, so you push them away, you nag, you make them feel like and then you finally leave and you realize that the grass isn't greener on the other side, which is why y'all are so salty when the good men actually move on and are happy with somebody else. Because let's be real, that man became everything that you ever wanted him to be, and then he turned into a man that you didn't even like because you didn't even know what you expected, what you wanted, what you needed, and what you really needed was to stop projecting your insecurities and your need for therapy onto him and needed to go heal yourself instead of blaming your husband. But a lot of y'all aren't ready for that kind of conversation. Okay, bye.
What happened to men pursuing girls? When was the pivotal moment that a man chose to not go after a girl anymore and put in any effort? It seems like guys can just put the bare minimum and not even really put in effort anymore. They don't really care to. Or they're like, why don't girls just go and make the first move and make the effort? When did it become a thing? Now it's like role reversal where they expect girls to be making the first moves, yearning for a guy and chasing him. That is, I feel like, the downfall of why it's so hard to meet someone, because men don't put in effort.
There's plenty of pivotal moments. How about when a woman called a man weak for opening her car door? Or the time that men pursued women on dating apps and him saying, hey, how are you, wasn't good enough? How about the pivotal moment when a man is looking out into the open and happens to glance in a woman's direction and somehow he's undressing her with his eyes? Or how about the moment when women considered everything the bare minimum and nothing is ever good enough? Or what about the pivotal moment where men have to fix everything in a relationship to make it work and women have to simply exist? Or how about the time there was a study done that said 80% of women find men unattractive, so why would they try anymore? Or the pivotal moment where men can be accused of SA or grape at any given moment by accident, just because a woman is pissed off because she was rejected? Or what about the pivotal moment that women have constantly told men that they're so undesirable that they would rather pick a bear over a human being, as if men don't have feelings? Or how about the pivotal moment that every single man that ever chased a woman was considered a simp and women simply didn't respect them or want to be with them because they're chasing and they're trying too hard? What about the pivotal moment when the nice guy gets left because he's not toxic enough? Or what about the pivotal moment where men can't even simply be respectful without it being considered creepy or too friendly? Or what about the time that women decided that not even Cheesecake Factory was good enough for a first date? And that they didn't want to get to know men for who they are. They wanted to know how much money they made and their status. And I don't know about you, but that doesn't sound worth chasing. Okay, bye.
How is it that I look like this today, yet no man wants me to be his girlfriend?
Is this a serious question? Because women just went from saying they rather pick a bear over a man. So why the hell would men approach you? Or even look in your direction? But not only that, so many women have taught men over the years that all men are predatorial, so the good men of the world gave up. And it's so funny because women will constantly say that men don't listen, but now that men are listening, y'all are wondering where the good guys are at, why they don't approach you anymore, and why men are just simply not interested. And why the hell would they be interested? They don't know if they're going to be the next subject of all men are trash content on social media. They don't know if they're going to be accused of doing something they didn't do. They don't know if they're going to be used for dates. They don't know if they're going to be manipulated and then called a narcissist. And in this particular video, she's also asking why didn't they approach her because she looks the way that she looks. But the bottom line is most women are basic. There's nothing special to them. We all look the freaking same. So yeah, you actually have to come with more than just your looks. You actually need a personality nowadays too. Okay, bye.
I fell in love with somebody who doesn't even know my name,
Can we just take a moment to imagine if a man was recording a woman exactly like this? It's unprovoked, it's unnecessary, and he would be labeled a predator or a creep, or the questions would start as to how many videos he has in his phone and how young the girls are. But when women do this, it's perfectly natural or normal. Like, what was the expected outcome anyway? This person could be totally unhealthy, unhinged, but you want to find this random man. But not only that, so many women love to preach how dangerous men are, how creepy men are, how women are in fear of their lives just because they walk down the street. This man is running, and y'all are videoing him like it's warranted. If you were doing the same thing walking down the street and a man was recording you because maybe you're looking exactly like that and showing a lot of cleavage, is it not the same thing? It's a perfect example of how being creepy is only considered creepy if the person is unattractive. The only reason that this is socially accepted and women have been stitching looking for this guy is because he's attractive. If he was not attractive and being recorded, then it would be considered creepy. Okay, bye. Is this not what women have been fighting for? Equality, screaming out the top of their lungs their independence. So why do you need a man to get up and give you a seat? You should have been there on time like a man to find your own seat. Or do we get to nitpick and choose when men are supposed to respect us or nitpick our equality? Is it not weird that she's randomly recording strangers on the subway? Because if a man were to do this, he'd be looked at as a creep or a pedo. And the reality is, taught men that there's no good answer. And what I mean by that is if this man gets up and gives you a seat at any point and looks in your direction maybe the wrong way, he's considered a creep. If he gets up and maybe his arm sweeps against your leg, he can be looking at sexual harassment charges. If he stands there while you sit down and says, hello, how was your day? Then guess what? He could be exploited as internet content and be the next creep or the next men or trash content. And does he want to risk that? If he happens to be getting off at the same stop as you, then guess what? You could accuse him of following you. And that might be even worse for him. And because men can't distinguish the false allegation girlies versus the normal girlies that still want respect, guess what? They treat us all the same. So thank you for that. Okay, bye.
What's actually hilarious is the amount of women that are outraged by this soft guy era, because basically these men are flipping the roles on them and they realize how ridiculous and unrealistic it sounds when a man says it, but then when they say it, it's not ridiculous. Like, some women have even gone as far as to call these men gay and act really homophobic towards them for simply asking for what they're asking for. And what I get from it, even if it is a joke, jokes aside, it's about reciprocation, and it's showing how many women expect it automatically because their inflated egos are telling them that they deserve it no matter what, without any reciprocation. And I don't know about you guys, but any relationship that you're in deserves appreciation, reciprocation, and I think a lot of you guys need to go back to kindergarten where we learn to treat others how you want to be treated. Because if you don't want to be used, then don't use people. If you don't want to be looked at as a paycheck, don't be a gold digger. If you want respect, you have to give respect. If you want someone to be compassionate and considerate, you have to be compassionate and considerate. And yes, this absolutely goes both ways. So the fact that so many women are showing the fact that they'll never reciprocate the same energy, this explains why so many men are out here, just match my energy and I'll match yours. And the problem is, it's not happening. It's the same way that so many women will come online and bash men and talk shop men and talk about their first dates being awful. But the moment that my platform or other women like me call out toxic behaviors, it's a problem. So y'all can talk about men and their toxic behaviors, but when women call you out on your own toxic behaviors, it's different. Anyways, drizzle, kings. Okay, bye.
And then listening to a video like this makes you understand, or it helps you to understand, clearly that modern women don't really have great communication skills. If a man is saying, okay, let me pull up the mirror and turn it back to you, this is exactly what you're saying to me. This is what I would want from you. You're sharing and being emotionally vulnerable with me, as you say, and then I'm turning around and doing the same thing to you and saying, okay, if I'm going to cater to you in this way, I would like you to cater to me in this way. Misogynistic, the patriarchy. Who is going to be the boys? I'm not sure what you're talking about, but it still stands that I would want my woman to take care of me like I take care of my woman. Stop being stupid.
Welcome to episode 2 of my limited series on times I failed spectacularly trying to befriend men who didn't want me. So unlike the last gentleman, this guy I was very much into. If you've read my Medium essay on being a single woman who'd rather not be, which you should if you've got 21 minutes to spare.
Guys, this is not satire. I truly scoured the comments of her videos trying to see her like admit that this was some kind of Andy Kaufman character, but no, this is real, and I don't know what the word is when like a woman is a nice guy who thinks that she can like exchange friendship tokens for romance, but this is it.
He did everything possible to reiterate this was not a date as he was dressed very casually. He didn't pay for my tea, and as opposed to sitting down face to face, we went for a walk so he didn't have to make eye contact.
Oh, she really stressed that he did not pay for her tea. Yeah, because you're friends, you didn't pay for his either.
But we still had some solid conversation in that hour, and some red flags did reveal themselves.
Ah, so he told you that he's not interested in you, so you have to find red flags in him to make him the problem. Got it.
And this is why I say to these gentlemen I become unreasonably invested in. If you want me to go away, just date me.
She said what?
If you want me to go away, just date me. I'll see that you're not as great as I thought you were, then we'll both be free. Now, had this guy turned around and wanted to date me, I would have said yes, so I asked him, is it cool if I follow him on Instagram? This was his response. And after I made these jokes, he followed me back.
I can only imagine what the blurred text says. Also, for some reason, she has the guy from You as her profile pic.
I see my follower count go down by 1. This motherfucker. I let him have it. No shame, no holds barred.
Okay, so I have anxiety, and it is never okay to use your anxiety as leverage to guilt trip people into giving you the social interactions that you feel entitled to. The dude made it so clear that he is not romantically interested in you. Why are you berating him with paragraphs for not following you back on social media? If you got a bag, you gotta go.
And naturally, he tried to turn it around on me for overreacting instead of addressing one damn thing I said. Was it really such an inconvenience to give me one small speck of validation and pretend I wasn't completely worthless to him?
Yeah, apparently romantically investing yourself into people you don't like is the new bare minimum. But no, he couldn't have given you some small scrap of validation because you would have used it to gobble it up and justify it to project this future romance onto him that he doesn't want.
I later had it confirmed by a former classmate of his that he's the kind of person who will only befriend someone if he thinks they can do something for him.
Why are you contacting his former classmates? I stopped counting the red flags ages ago. How about you guys?
But I don't regret trying because now I know for sure he's not the guy for me and certainly not my friends.
But why did it take all of this? Why didn't you know for sure he wasn't the guy for you when he told you he wasn't the guy for you? Yeah, this is why consent conversations aren't just for boys. Look, once that friendship line has been drawn in the sand, you pick a side. You either decide you can't vibe with that and go, or you accept the real, genuine friendship option. But this whole, once I get rejected, oh, you were ugly anyway thing, don't look it on any gender.
Okay, so Shakir just got some food, and it looks really good. But he's being really stingy and doesn't want to give me any.
Well, man, where's my food, man?
So can I have some?
No. That smile.
I fucking don't you, bro. Fucking did so.
Are you serious? Are you serious?
Nope, hell no, she just took that way too far. Look, there are 3 things that belong to a man that you cannot touch. His partner, his money, and his food. And this is not a Venn diagram, okay? Just because you are his partner does not entitle you to the other 2. And look, we've all been in that situation where our man orders something different from us and it looks so good and you want to try a little bit, so you ask. That is very, very different than putting your nasty doo-doo fingers all over his stuff before he can even smell it. Did you hear that banging at the end?
Are you serious?
That was him throwing away the food. He was so upset. That hurt to watch. And look, I went full detective on this video. I put my eyes all over it, okay? All right, this part of the clip right here. What do you see? Another box, meaning he probably got her own damn food and she's the one being selfish and greedy trying to get more. Or devil's avocado, very unlikely given how hungry my boy looks in this video. Or maybe that was his second box and he did order both for himself. Guess what? He's a grown man. He's entitled to ordering 2 boxes of food for himself without having to worry about your doo-doo fingers going on it. And guess what else? You're a grown woman. Stop acting like you don't know how to order food. If you're hungry, say it with your chest. Quit doing this thing where you go to the restaurant and you order a salad, and you're gonna stay skinny, and then you keep eating half the fries and half his burger off his plate anyway. Girl, I know you got Uber, DoorDash, and Instacart on your phone right now. You probably got a cute little decorated folder for it and everything, okay? Men love hungry women, okay? Quit faking it. And Shakir, if you are watching this, dinner's on me and the council.
On Saturday mornings, can you not make pancakes? Like, can you not make a big breakfast? Like, Milo can have toast. You're not going to cut the grass. First, I want to just have coffee. So sit down on paper. It might look good. Like, oh, he's cleaning and making breakfast. Like, so nice. I would be like excited for him to get home. Then he would get home and he would be like, hey, like, say hello, give us a kiss. And then he would go and start doing the dishes. I was like, why am I feeling rage because he's going to do the dishes?
This is how this dude's week is going so far. Comes home from a long day of work, goes to do some dishes. Can you not? Wakes up on his day off, goes to make some pancakes. Can you not? This is the definition of can a guy do anything right? I mean, this is exactly why guys stop trying, because they enter these damned if they do, damned if they don't situations. I mean, it's like, don't rely on me for a list. Take initiative. And then wait, don't do anything without running it by me first. And if you see the stitches to this video, everyone's talking about the guys can't do anything right aspect of this, but I actually wanted to womansplain a little bit on the real issue going on here. The whole root of this issue is that she wants his attention. This isn't about pancakes. This isn't about mowing the lawn. This is a continuous buildup of resentment for what she perceives as a lack of intimacy on his part. And a lot of that is normal, but she's saying that she's literally feeling a rage, and deep down that's because she's mad that he is not initiating intimacy on his own. And we have to examine that. I think one of the main issues we women are experiencing is that we're relying way too much on the men to be the initiators of the intimacy. And a lot of women don't realize this, but once men become the sole initiators, it starts to feel creepy, and they start to really hold back unless they see a really warm sign or bright beacon. Ladies, we can get after it too. We are entirely allowed to be the initiators. But for some reason, probably due to being sociologically conditioned into believing that we can't be the chasers or the pursuers, we refuse to rev that engine. So instead, when we want intimacy, we end up using the only language we were sociologically conditioned to using, which is task delegation. Next thing you know, we're very unintentionally turning affection into a task by saying things like, "Can you not make pancakes?" Ultimately, she was upset that when he came home, he did not join her in the space that she was in. So go join him in the space that he's in. If he goes into the kitchen to do dishes, just go in there and have coffee and chat with him while he's doing it. He would love that. Just like men are currently socially reconditioning themselves to be more present in parenthood or more emotionally vulnerable, we have to start socially conditioning ourselves to pursue a little bit more and to initiate a little bit more. Oh, and everyone's saying he can't mow the lawn because then she'll have to watch the child. Here's my husband with both his son and our daughter mowing the lawn just fine. Life hack. Men love when you simply exist around them. They're very simple creatures, and they love even more when you make the moves. Initiating intimacy is not some sign of desperation on your part or some sign of failure on his part. It's actually just one of the coolest things ever. In conclusion, ladies, make some moves on your man today. You're welcome. Can someone please explain to me why my husband always picks female characters in every game he's playing? Yeah, so if you ask most men, they'll give you the logical gaming mechanics reason. Smaller frame characters have a smaller hitbox, making them a smaller target to hit, giving you the competitive edge when you play as them. But that's not the reason guys play as female characters. The very real reason, and it's pretty simple, is because they're pretty. Men do like pretty things. They just like them on women. And female characters tend to have dope skins and really flowy outfits. And let's be real, voice matters. Yes, a dude would rather hear a woman than a dude groaning in his earpiece all day. Don't be weird about it. Besides, dudes always make their female characters look like their girlfriends anyway. Exhibit A, this is his character, right? This is the girl who filmed the video. That's you. He made you.
She's not gonna like it. She's not gonna like what you've got in store.
Look, you can sleep in the Shire, stay away from Mordor.
So the dad is leading his daughter up the stairs to show her the present that he got for her, which ends up being a Lord of the Rings map blanket. And as they're going up the stairs super excitedly, the wife goes, "She's not gonna like it." Why? I think most women agree that this was so annoying as a little girl to hear every time that you expressed interest in something that wasn't 100% girl adjacent. But also, what would compel you to insert negative energy into a situation that you know this man is trying to build up joy for? So I was willing to just excuse this as her way of joking around, maybe, but then...
I don't understand, I'm not going to lie.
We love Lord of the Rings.
Yeah, and we're watching Hobbit next week.
Fun. I don't like it.
I love it.
You seem upset that your daughter doesn't hate the very harmless thing that you seem to hate. And I love that the daughters were completely unfazed by it, but still, what weird energy is this to completely crash out over a fantasy blanket? I'm sorry, is this not gonna look good on your blog or something? How did the blanket hurt you?
Because the whole reason why you can't appreciate a man is because you never respected him in the first place.
Uh-oh.
Fuck them. Fuck their feelings. Why the fuck would we respect men? They're our predator. Like, they're literally, if we were put out in nature, they're the ones we should fear.
Oh my god, this woman's dog definitely stepped on a bee. So I don't know if you know this, but we are in nature. This is not a simulation. And most men are not preying on anything except for Little Caesar's extra most bestest and the gargoyles in Elden Ring. But I'm gonna let you finish.
Fuck yeah, I'm gonna manipulate them. If I can get, like, their wallet to be empty and mine and empty their pockets, fuck yeah, I'll take it. Reparations, bitch. Also, like, when I was making the mistake of fucking men, I didn't hear what they wanted to say. I didn't want to listen. They're dumb. I don't respect them. When I would make the mistake of fucking them, I would literally cover their mouth. Because I was like, boo-boo, I don't give a fuck. You're a piece of meat for me. Let's get this over with. Because I need to, you need to make me not finish so I can finish me.
I swear they are finding the most creative ways to tell on themselves. This isn't even like if you squint, you can kind of see the predatory behavior. It is right there. It is a giant red flag factory. And it's almost like she realized how bad it sounded at the end of there as she started stuttering. Hurry up and make me not finish so I can finish being here. Like, I guess at least you don't respect yourself either. Everything she just described about her own behavior is her being the predator. And then look at this follow-up clip.
Why would I willingly let a man into my life? So I can be fucked over? So I can be manipulated?
Oh, you mean exactly the thing that you said you do to men. You really managed to wrap up that projection in a pretty little bow, didn't you? And they all love to justify this with the whole, well, men did it first, so that's the only reason I'm doing it thing. The whole chicken and the egg thing doesn't matter because you're both chickens. Like, do you see what I'm saying here? If your response to seeing people behave like monsters is to become a monster, you're not a better monster. And I'm gonna be very real with you. If you are indeed covering men's mouths during intercourse against their consent to silence them, I hope you get slapped with every essay conviction in the book. Something tells me you going to prison would be a win-win for all of us. You can finally be in a place where there are no men, and men can be in a place where they're safe from predators like you.
This woman really said, you're a piece of meat for me, and I'm going to keep on messing with you so you cannot make me finish. Don't do that. See, how can we have an honest conversation if we not gonna tell the truth? The fact of the matter is that man was knocking your socks off. He was knocking your socks off. You didn't have no hand over nobody's mouth, no nothing. You might have had your hand over your mouth, trying to be quiet so the people in the next room didn't hear you. That's probably what was going on. Y'all get on here stunting for the gram, stunting for TikTok, when you know that man was putting you through the mattress. When you know, in fact, that man was putting you through the floor. Don't do this. Once again, I say, how can we have a conversation, an honest conversation, if we're not going to be open and honest with each other?
Next time you're having sex and your woman says deeper, look her straight in the eye and say, tighter. Look at that. Now we're all depressed.
I'm a traditional woman, so man needs to pay my bills.
Are you gonna cook for him?
What am I, his mother?
Do you want to be a stay-at-home mom?
Does my body look like a breeding factory for men?
Oh my god, can you cook?
I'm gonna marry a man that's self-sufficient and doesn't need me to do those things.
You want a man that's gonna let you stay home and just pay all your bills, right?
Yeah, that's a man's job, to provide.
Okay, so what exactly makes you traditional? Like, it just sounds like you're kind of just wanting your bills paid and a free ride.
I find that extremely misogynistic and offensive.
We are feminists and we want equality. That's why we find it super offensive if a man were to ask us to stay at home and cook and clean.
Okay, yeah, because women can do anything now. We can work, we can stay at home, we can even make an OnlyFans, and people are supposed to be okay with that, right?
Yes, my body, my choice stops shoving women into traditional gender roles.
All right, I can agree with you there. So men, we're no longer expecting them to provide. Excuse me? Like, it's not the 1950s anymore. Women don't have to stay home and be like homemakers. So men, they don't have to be breadwinners, right?
Oh, I get it. You're supporting men being in their soft boy era. That's it? You want us to pamper men?
No, I'm just confused as to why we still expect a man from the 1950s while disrespecting them like a 2025 woman.
Do you think women should be barefoot and pregnant?
No, I just don't think we should be calling men misogynistic for putting us in gender roles while we continue to push men into theirs.
Okay, that's it. I'm a victim! Women can do anything a man can do.
Wow, look at that female beating her boyfriend.
She's probably not he probably drove her to it.
Wow, that 35-year-old woman is trying to sleep with that 16-year-old boy.
He's a teenage boy. He knows what he's doing. He wants it.
Oh, so women can do anything a man can do unless that thing makes them look bad. Okay, gotcha.
I need a traditional man.
Are you gonna cook?
No.
Do you think you'd be a good mother? Definitely not. Are you gonna work?
No.
Okay, so what's traditional about you?
You know what? I don't know. But I will give him a good BJ if he spends money on me.
How are you any different than a hooker?
Why are there so many women on the internet right now saying that false allegations have never hurt a man? I'm sorry, do you not remember what happened to Inquisitor Ghost? The cosplayer, Vincent, who killed himself live on TikTok? All because this little girl and her over-the-age boyfriend decided to come together, lie about her age to entrap Vincent in some sort of allegation, and then when Vincent, fully believing that this girl was an adult, turned her down, they still forged messages that made him look like he was that caused him to take his own life. Also, are we just conveniently forgetting about Emmett Till? Johnny Depp? I can literally think of so many examples. Us sitting here and making excuses for false allegations, being like, well, most of them are true anyway, so what harm does it do? A lot of harm, because it takes credibility away from victims who actually need support. You absolute Brussels sprout.
But because it goes against what they believe about society, what they believe about themselves, what they believe about, really, honestly and truly, it's themselves. You don't even have to go anywhere outside of that. I believe I'm a good person, so whenever I see another woman, I relate to them. I give them the benefit of the doubt. When I see a man, I'm not going to do that. I'm going to assume that every man that I come in contact with is like my horrible ex that, by the way, people told me not to mess with. By the way, my dad, my granddad, my brother told me, don't mess with that guy. He's a weirdo. He's a jerk. We don't mess with him. We don't even hang around him. And you go and do it. And now you're mad that that man did you wrong. And now you're going on a tangent, on a rant, talking about why don't men stand up for women? Why don't men go and call out other men? We did. We told you to leave him alone. We don't hang out with him. We don't have anything to do with him. And you decided it was best for you in your life to go out and hang out with this guy. And when this guy did you wrong, now you're thinking that every man's going to do you wrong. And here come the false allegations. Here come the, well, number one, number two, let's go to what she's talking about. You're out here because you don't have anything to do. Because you just, for whatever reason, want to play with somebody else's life. You go out there and start lying on them, ruining their lives, ruining whatever they got going on. Man, thinking he about to go to jail, thinking something bad is about to happen, you're about to ruin my life, takes his own life. And once again, I've argued with women in the comments where they sit up and tell me, oh man, words are not as bad as physical harm. It's not as bad. You can't even compare it. It's not the same thing. Just a stupid statement, to be quite honest with you. Just a very stupid statement, very ignorant statement for somebody to say that, to not really understand the weight of words. They can understand it when you say, I don't think it's that serious. Maybe you need to relax. How can you say that? You understand that words can crush somebody. But when a man turns around and says, I don't know if you should be saying that to a man. Words can really crush somebody. Now, they're losers. That's why the male loneliness epidemic exists, because they're losers and they need to hear this. And it's better me tell them than anybody else. And so I'm going to cuss them out. I'm going to talk about them. I'm going to insult them. I'm going to shame them. I'm going to do anything that I can to destroy who they are. But it's fine because it's me and I should be okay. It should be fine for me to do it. Good.
All right, ladies. The men have decided if you can't beat them, join them. So drizzle, drizzle to your sprinkle, sprinkle. Okay? At the end of the day, you told men that they were toxic just for being men. You told men that strength and macho behavior and all the rest of the things that come along with being a man, those things are all bad. Put them away. Okay. They said no problem. They have no problem being in their soft guy era. So I hope you're not concerned about who's going to be taking out the trash, because guys have decided you, princess, you get to take out the trash. And while we're talking about royalty, I hope you're not wanting to be a passenger princess, because these guys, they want that treatment too. Fair is fair, right? Anything you can do, they can do. All right, well, they've decided to match your sass and now they're embracing it. So I hope that you get everything that you wanted, because ladies, y'all have created some monsters, okay? So buckle up and enjoy the ride. I don't think it's ending anytime soon. Drizzle, drizzle. All right, girlies, it is time to get real with yourself, okay? The double standard is going too hard. It's 2025. We got to start making some sense, please. Right now, the biggest issue, apparently, across my For You page is the outrage that women are having because men are now saying that women need to come to the gym in clothes. Like, men are saying, hey, please don't come in here naked. Please don't come in here in your lingerie. Please don't come in here bending over and squatting and doing all the stuff that you do, basically with everything hanging out. And women say, oh my God, you're the problem. See, you're out here. You can't even control yourself. Really and truly, let's just think about this. If a man is in a gym, and this happens all the time, so let's not pretend, but if a man is in a gym and he happens to look around, as people do, and he is glancing in your general direction, sometimes even zoned out and having nothing to do with what you're doing, first thing women will do is pull out a phone, want to record, post you online, call you a predator. Happens all the time. You say that men are the problem, but you go into these spaces where you know men are going to be, and then you basically set them up. And a man could be doing absolutely nothing but minding his own business and working out, and you're still going to claim that he's doing something wrong. So yeah, men no longer feel safe. They don't feel safe with you being naked in their spaces. They don't feel comfortable being in a place where they can't help but have eyes and you being in their presence, because if somebody takes a picture and it can portray them as looking in your general direction, wearing next to nothing, well, then they're going to be labeled. And they're going to be labeled something that could be damaging to themselves, to their career, to whatever they got going on. So you basically protesting men, saying, please cover up a little bit. Please don't come in here naked. Wear gym appropriate clothes. It's unfortunate because you're the misguided one here. You say men need to control themselves. Women need to control themselves too. Women also do have to control themselves. You don't get to make people around you in the general public uncomfortable and think that it's okay because of your gender. Sorry. This whole men ain't shit thing. You know why that really bothers me? Because when you ask most women, they say a few common things. They'll say because men lie. They'll say because they cheat. They'll say they're so lazy they don't want to work. Okay. Last I checked, women cheat too. And women, I would argue, probably lie a little bit more. I think women just lie a little bit better. And also, if we're talking about who doesn't work, this whole wanting to date rich men so they can take care of you can literally not have to work. Tell me what the difference is. All right, y'all. There's apparently some outrage about that new song that I believe his name is Brandon Jamal created about single moms. And so to that, I just want to say and highlight a few things for you. So one, being a single mom is something that in only America, people wear as a badge of honor. So, I mean, it's as simple as it's now part of your introduction. Hi, my name is such and such, and I'm a single mom. Like, nobody asked. This is not about your kids. Nobody asked. I've never heard a parent who is in a married two-parent household identify that when introducing themselves, but I digress. Two, if you have an issue with a song about being a single mom, then you should also have an issue about the songs that say baby daddies are deadbeats. I'm just going to say, like, fair is fair, right? You don't want to be put into a bucket, then you shouldn't be putting other people into a bucket. So just going to put that out there. And then also, I just want you to know that in the cases where you become a single parent because you become a widow or widower, or, you know, the small margin of people who have extenuating circumstances, that's one thing. But if you become a single mom because you were sleeping with people and ended up pregnant and weren't in a committed relationship and like chose to keep the baby, like, I just want you to know that there were several choices in there that got you to that particular state. And I know it's unpopular. I know it hurts sometimes to have to take accountability, but I really think that we just need to start. Because his song, I'm gonna be honest, there weren't, at least in the hook, there weren't lies. He just explained what happened and how he got there. So yeah, let's try it. Let's all do better. Okay? I'm just going to say it because frankly, it's a bit disturbing at this point. The amount of women that I see walking around, grown women, I'm not talking about little girls, walking around with these bubble skirts. I know fads come in and go out. And I know that everybody wants to be cute. And sometimes at certain periods of your life, you feel extra cute. You want to be a little extra sexy. And I empower you as an adult to do whatever it is that you want to do in your own space. When you're in your house, if you go to the beach, if you, whatever it is, okay? But what I'm not okay with is me taking my kids to the mall and your hind parts are out. What I'm not okay with is us being at a park or walking down the street or just anywhere in a restaurant near food. I mean, when you sit, your parts are literally on the seat. It is not hygienic and it is not appropriate. Okay, there's just no nicer way to say this. Now, I've heard that some other ladies came out and they said some stuff, and y'all came for them talking about the internet aunties always up in somebody's business and you need to mind your own business. Ma'am, that cannot apply when you are in the public eye. That is for everyone. If you don't want nobody to judge you when you look a certain way, then don't show them. Don't show them, because you can't control other people. Okay, what you can do is control how you present yourself. 6 feet, 6 figure, six pack. Let's talk about it. So 6 feet. A man can't control that. I find it hilarious that women have decided, or at least that the masses are saying, that women have decided that a guy has to be 6 feet. So what's supposed to happen to everybody else in the population who's under 6 feet? Are they supposed to just die alone? That makes no sense at all. Not to mention, women ain't that damn tall. So why is over 6 feet like the thing we go for? What's wrong with 5'10"? Okay, 6 figures. Let's just be real. Everybody ain't earning that. Everybody not gonna earn that. And frankly, I don't understand why you are measuring a man and his capability on earning potential on what he has today. But sure, let's go with that. 6-pack. Do you have yourself in shape? While we over here talking about what a man gotta look like aesthetically? I mean, I'm just saying there's nothing wrong with preferences, but unless you want to die alone and you're really okay with that, I think some of y'all really need to reevaluate your list.
Honestly, some of these women look like they're stuffing their faces with club sandwiches all day. That's just, I'm not trying to be rude, because I love a club sandwich. I do. But it just looks like you've had one too many. And those are the same women talking about, I'm not going to date a man my size. The same women talking about, I want a guy that is making at least 120K. They make about 20K on their job. They make 20K on their job. Oh, I want a man that's educated, that can walk into a room and really work that room. You're asking for that because you're not educated, because you have no schooling. And you know, a lot of times we talk about education in the way of going to an actual college, but you can be educated outside of college. You can do an apprenticeship. You can do a certification, a course like that. Many people do that. You can have people that go into trades, that sort of thing. Y'all not even doing that. Y'all don't even have an aunt or a grandmother or a mom somewhere that's showing you the ropes. You don't even have one of your friends showing you how to do a job and you get hired on that way. You don't have none of that. You're just not educated. You're an idiot. But for all intents and purposes, you're an idiot. And I don't even know, quite honestly, how you formed a sentence to say or give orders or give a list of what you wanted in a man when you literally can't embody any of that.
Here's another thing that's not told to women about exclusivity. Men ask about you. As soon as they find you, as soon as they say they find you on social media, they're looking at your friends list to see if you match with anybody. And best believe, if you know somebody they know, they're going to ask them about you. When people meet you, they're going to take their phone and they're going to be like, hey, do y'all know her? They're going to ask their social circles, their close friends. A man does not want a woman long term. Now, if you in these streets and you just want to hit, of course he just gonna hit whatever he want to hit. But a man who wants to be married does not want his homeboys, his cousins, brothers to have had his wife. That just doesn't, 9 times out of 10, it don't exist. So don't think that you can be with friends and be whatever and be able to have a plethora of options. Your options get smaller when you operate like that.
So a woman in the comments said, just move, baby, start fresh. Another woman said, I know someone who tried this. I know somebody who tried this needs a whole story time because old behaviors carry over. Another person said, straight up, your mind goes wherever you go. Wherever you go, there you are. Exactly. Y'all go to a different city and y'all continue to do the same thing. Y'all fly overseas and continue to do the same thing. That's because, once again, surprise, surprise, say it with me, class, y'all are not good people. You're not a good person. Y'all be thinking and starting apps, i.e., aka the T app, aka are we dating the same person? Y'all start all of this stuff. Well, we want to keep each other safe. A man is like, all right, go do your thing, because I'm going to ask my questions too. And when men get tired of asking questions and asking around, they hit you in the face with it. So what do you bring to the table? So what have you been up to? So I've laid out what I can do and I've laid out my resume. What is it that you can do? What are you up to? And that's when things start going left. And that's when we need a story time from the woman about how this man ain't for me, how God blocked it, how I dodged a massive bullet, how this guy was a red flag. Accountability. You dodged accountability that night because he was asking you some very pointed questions and you didn't want to hear it. You were out there in the streets and he walked up on you and he found you. He found out what you were doing and now you try to lie about it. He caught you in a lie.
You're gonna have thoughts about this.
I know so many great single women. So many great single women. I don't know where all the dudes are. I'm like, guys, come on. Come on, guys. Make the first move. Just come on. But man, they just...
the first move is become a great single guy. That's a big move, right?
Stop. Play. Where are the guys? Stop. Okay. My thoughts on this, and you guys don't know where I'm going to go on this.
No.
She's saying there are all these female women that are great, and there's so many guys that are like they're why aren't the guys initiating? Why aren't the guys making any moves? I'll tell you why. Because everything we say to you is screenshotted and sent to all your group of friends. Every time we do something on the internet, there's TikToks about the icks that we do that we didn't do it right. Every time we don't end it correctly, this guy ghosted me. This guy broke up with me. This guy's a jerk. There's all these Facebook groups are like, hey, Nashville girl, are we dating the same guy? Like no guy, every guy is terrified of the landscape of all of this. And I should say caveat, there are bad dudes out there. But it's like when they were like, we got all these commercials on the Super Bowl are offensive. This is not funny. This is offensive. We're getting canceled. And all the brands go, okay. And then they're like, where are the funny commercials? You're like, dude, it's like McDonald's is like, we're going to raise minimum wage $25 an hour. They're like, all right, we'll just have one person there and have a machine. They're like, dude, what? Like, this is the cause of all y'all. It's the same with politics is the same. It's like, I feel like every dude, I'm in a relationship, but every dude, I'm sounding like the girl from the last video.
I don't have this problem. For you guys.
No, I feel like sometimes I've seen like my girlfriend and their friends are like, dude, just outing this guy. I look at it on TikTok on the way over here. Maybe I still have it pulled up on my TikTok about the list. Have you ever seen those like list of icks?
Yes.
They like added, don't hula hoop, don't ride a scooter, don't get hurt. Don't drink from a straw. Don't tie shoelaces. Don't wear swimming goggles. Don't be a bum. Don't call a girl a female. These are all things that there's a list of thousands of these. And a guy wants to be in a relationship and wants to find love just as much as a woman. And all these women are like, why aren't guys nobody wants to say anything on the dating apps because there's like whole feeds be like, this is the wild things guys are saying to me, and I understand there's bad guys, but you can't have both of these. And I feel like there's a lot of women that are like, where are all the guys at? And then at the same have like, after a date goes bad, get on TikTok and blast the guy. There was a girl that I was interested in. I've talked about on this before.
Yeah.
I was interested. I thought she was attractive. I asked her. I took her out. I saw her post about her ex, and I deleted her number. I'm good on that. And I think guys are just terrified of this whole landscape. Like, and I know a lot of guys. If you're talking about that last clip, people being insecure to make friends. They're like, dude, I'm not even gonna go to a bar unless you gotta get hammered to like get up the courage to walk over to a woman because she's gonna be there. There's a lot of stuff we talk about on this podcast, but there's a ton of stuff we don't. Because it's not appropriate. It's interpersonal. It's about your family. It's about your relationship. It's about mine. So it's not for everybody. But I feel like there's so many loud people on the internet asking where are all the guys, and at the same time having this content and social media to me is heavily full of this. And now they're asking this, and I'm just saying you can't have both.
Yeah.
Y'all thought I was lying when I said women are ruining dating. There's no cap in my rap. The more y'all post story times, dates, blast men, embarrass men, the less men are going to want to date. So do not interact with those posts. Do not post story times about your ex and all of this stuff. You messing it up for you. You heard what he said. Y'all thought I was crazy when I said it. And he ain't. So you can't be like, oh, it's the black man. This is a regular YT man. Well, he ain't regular. That's John Chris. But. And he's 41. So he ain't young. Just saying, y'all. We trying to tell y'all. Ain't no cap in my rap now. Okay, let's break down the saying. Men sacrifice their happiness for marriage. Women sacrifice their marriage for their happiness. Because sis said that doesn't make sense. So let me break it down, because this is something that men are saying. And so maybe if I say it, it will kind of resonate a little bit more. I'm not going to hold you. A lot of times women, we only think about us and what we give up and what we sacrifice. I mean, men do this too, but in marriage, a lot of times we don't always consider what the men give up. Now, this is going to sound crazy because our needs are different, but before y'all react, before y'all get triggered, before y'all just listen first and then comment. Just then comment. When men get married, it is not a fairy tale for them. They're not looking forward to this extravagant wedding. They are not rushing to be with one woman. Now, hear me out. A good man, a man that's God-fearing, does not mind giving up that part of himself to be with one woman. Most men, though, it is not their dream and their fantasy to be with one person the way it is for us. We don't need a slew of men. We don't need a roster. We don't need a bunch of people to make us feel good. Men are way more sexual than we are. We are content with one person. Men have to fight against their flesh, fight against their natural desires to be with multiple women. So that is a sacrifice they give up for the woman that they love. And I know somebody's going to be like, but they cheat. I'm not talking about them. I'm just saying in general. Just listen, y'all. Stay here, ladies, because I know how y'all get. Just wait a minute. Also, when a man gets married, he is sacrificing not only protecting himself, but he has to now protect a family. If a cop, burglar, whatever comes to the door, like if anybody knocks at the door, my husband answers the door because he is the protector of this household. He does not expect me to get up in the middle of the night or get up when the doorbell rings to make sure that the household is protected. That is his job. So a man knows when I sign up to be a husband, I am now her protection and my children's protection. Men also know that their resources are no longer for them, they are for their family. However, good men do not mind because that's what makes them feel good as men. However, it is a huge investment in the man. They're investing their time, their loyalty, they're going against their nature to be with one woman, love one woman, take care of a family, because they love, when they're loved properly, when they know that woman has their back and that she's loyal, they don't mind making that sacrifice. They don't mind denying the things that they want, the good ones. They don't mind denying the things that they want to make sure that their family is straight. That's why back in the day, granddaddy, even men today though, men will sacrifice, get up every single day and never complain about having to go to work, never complain about sitting in traffic, never complaining about your nasty pot roast, never complaining. They will just live their lives. They shut up. They do what they got to do to put their family on their back, to hold it down in any way they can. The good ones. Not saying men are perfect. I'm just saying that's what they sacrifice. Women, we make sacrifices, right? We bear the children, we hold down the home, but it's equal exchange. The difference is men don't really complain about their sacrifices. And into the women who say that, well, I do everything. Sis, that's the marriage you signed up for. No tea, no shade. No tea, no shade. Y'all gotta work that out. So when men say women will sacrifice their marriage for their happiness, when women say, you know what? I've been with this man for 12 years. We have kids together. We built this home together. We have a life together. But right now, this marriage is not serving me. And I need to go outside this marriage. I need to break up my home. I need to break up my family to go be happy. Men don't understand that crap because that man ain't been happy for a while, but he sucked it up and kept doing what he needed to do for his family. And then you'll have other women go, yeah, girl, your happiness is over your children's happiness. Your happiness is over the heartbreak that's going to cause to your husband. Your happiness is over everything. You see how crazy that sounds? It's very selfish. So no, you don't care that your children will have to go back and forth between different homes. No, you won't care about how that is going to hurt your husband, because he might be very stoic and not show it, but he still has feelings, especially if he was a good man, especially if he denied people and his feelings and the stuff that he wanted to do for you, and just for you to turn around and be like, I'm unhappy. And then when we go out into the world and we realize fat meat ain't greasy and the grass ain't greener and the dating pool is, then we get mad. Then it's men's problem, and then it's men's fault. And other men are sitting there looking at you like, we could have told you that, because what they know that we do not is that every man is not going to love you the way your husband loves you. Yes, I know you think you're great. Yes, I know that you are beautiful and your booty is plump and all this other stuff. But men know that they only really love a few women in their lives. They will sleep with a lot of women. They will give attention to a lot of women. But the love down, it's only about 2 or 3. So when a man decides, hey, I want you, I love you enough to marry you, I love you enough to protect you, provide, whatever. Again, the good ones, because somebody gonna be in the comments, the good ones. Other men are bewildered and bamboozled that you couldn't sacrifice just a little uncomfortability, a little unhappiness, a little just to get through that season, because what they know that we don't is our emotions don't last forever. Men are not emotional like we are. They know how to thug it out through their emotions to get to the other side. Now, I'm not saying that any of this is easy. I'm not saying that every marriage is going to be perfect and you ain't going to have your issues and you ain't going to have your ups and downs. But if you get married in your 20s and your 30s and you plan to be with this person for the rest of your life, and you don't think you ain't going to have a few years of hard or misery or whatever, you don't think that you ain't going to have to go through something. Again, I'm not talking about cheating, because somebody's going to be like, cheating. I'm not talking about that. But we as women have to understand that sometimes our happiness is our job. Sometimes it's not our marriage, it's going to get a hobby. Sometimes it ain't got nothing to do with your family or why you ain't unhappy. Sometimes it's your hormones. Sometimes you just need to get a life, girl. Sometimes you need new friends. Sometimes you might just need a vacation. So I am not the guru to marriage, but I had to break that down because sis didn't understand what I was talking about. Men say it to each other all the time and it clicks. So hopefully with that explanation, I know somebody is going to miss somebody. It's okay. Hopefully with that explanation, you understand what they mean. Why men sacrifice their happiness for their marriage and women sacrifice their marriages for their happiness. Don't let it be you, sis.